Dear student friends, with this presentation, we will try to understand the basic principle of operation of a typical analog to digital converter. So whenever you want to convert an analog signal into its digital equivalent, how exactly the analog signal gets converted into its digital equivalent, that we shall see in this particular presentation. And we have already seen the very principle of its counterpart, that is a digital to analog converter, in our previous presentations, right? So now in this slide, basically I will confine myself to tell you the operating principle only, and in our subsequent presentations we shall see about the different types of the analog to digital converters. Now if you look at this particular diagram here, this basically represents the principle of the analog to digital converter, or the different the signals that are required for the process to continue to convert an analog signal into its digital equivalent. So now here, if you have a careful observation, you have got an analog input VA, right? You have got a reference signal, then you have got its equivalent digital output, which is an n bit digital output here. Then two signals, one is called the start signal, which happens to be the input signal to your ADC, the start of conversion or the start signal, and another signal that is called as the end of conversion, that is the output signal from your ADC. So these are the general aspects that you have to look at before we go into the individual type of the analog to digital converters, which is represented by this inside block. Okay, so now when I speak about the analog inputs here, so here in this case I have represented only one signal, but it could be n number of signals also. What I mean by that is, here you can have, instead of one, you can have 3 or you can have 8, depending upon the type of the analog to digital converters. So when I say that I have got an 8 input channels, okay, when I have 8 input channels, it is possible for me to feed in the 8 analog inputs to this analog to digital converters. Of course, the conversion of all the 8 analog signals will not be done simultaneously into its digital equivalent. Each signal will be processed simultaneously. That all depends upon the type of the analog to digital converter. Now, for example, you have got a process control. In the process control, there are, say, 5 to 6 signals are getting generated, which are the analog signal. It may be temperature, pressure, velocity, speed, humidity, the different kind of things. So all these inputs you can simultaneously feed in, but each input gets converted into its digital value at a time, not simultaneously. That is to be kept at the back of our mind. Then every conversion here has to take place with respect to a reference voltage, as we have seen in the case of its counterpart, that is the digital to analog converter also. Then you have got the output with n number of bits. So these bits could be either 4 or 8 or 12 or 16 or 32, 64, so on and so forth. As you increase the number of output bits, definitely your analog to digital converter becomes analog to digital converters with higher and higher resolution, right? So that's what is the meaning of having the higher bit analog to digital converter, of course at the cost of complicated hardware and all, right? So now if you look at the literature here, analog input VA produces digital output with n bits. Then the functional value of this digital output D is given by the formula D1 into 2 to the power of minus 1 plus D2 into 2 to the power of minus 2, so on and so forth, plus Dn into 2 to the power of minus n in an n-bit analog to digital converter, right? Where your D1 happens to be the most significant bit and Dn is the least significant bit, right? So this is what is the very general structure of your analog to digital converter. And here you have got two more signals, as I've already told you earlier. One is the start of conversion signal, SOC, the start of conversion signal, which happens to be the input signal to your analog to digital converter. Now, when some analog input is made available here in its channel or in one of its channels, then the external device, right, has to inform the ADC that the analog signal is available here. Now you start converting it to its equivalent digital value. Of course, the conversion has to be synchronized with the system clock. This we will see when we look at the different types of the analog to digital converters later. Now, a start of conversion signal is an input signal to the ADC to start the conversion of the analog input available at its channel into its equivalent digital output, right? Then the analog to digital converter starts converting the analog value into its digital value. It will take certain time to do so, to convert the analog value into its digital value, right? After having completed the conversion of the analog value into its equivalent digital value, the end of conversion signal EOC, right? This EOC signal, end of conversion signal, is an output signal from your ADC. It has to be initiated, right? So once the end of end of conversion signal goes out, it indicates that the ADC has completed the conversion of the analog input into its digital equivalent, right? So that will enable the other device which is connected to it to either, send the next analog signal, or among the different analog signals available here, it will manage to give the instruction to your ADC to again start the conversion of the next signal which is available here. So this is the meaning of the start of conversion signal and end of conversion signal. And of course, we are, as I already told you, is the reference voltage here, right? So now this gives us the basic structure of how your analog to digital converter should look like. And in our subsequent presentation, we will go with the most important part, how exactly the conversion takes place. We will look into the internal blocks here, right? What are the different methods that we follow to convert an analog signal into its digital equivalent? Which methods are beneficial? Which methods are costly, right? Which methods are, hassle free? All those things we will see in our subsequent presentations.